The question is, are you motivated by gain or by fear? This cognitive bias is rather simple. People move away from the things they don't want and towards the things they do want. We are driven by greed and desire as well as by pain and fear. But, as it turns out, humans are twice as motivated to move away from the things they don't want to happen than motivated to go towards the things they do want to happen. Gain is simply not as motivational as pain is. What that means is if we have the chance to win $100, but also the risk of losing $100, we don't take that chance. At least most of us don't. We don't like to take risks, and in fact, most people look out more for the risk than the opportunity. In other words, they consciously and unconsciously look at what they stand to lose, and they make most of the decisions in their lives based on avoiding loss. We came wired with this tendency, but nowadays it acts in many situations more as a virus when it comes to making decisions. What's important to note about this pattern is that it compels you to avoid experimentation. It activates a conservative avoid loss strategy. And if you want to avoid loss, the safest bet is instead risking to do what has worked in the past. I've read some research that suggested that the more money you have, the more you worry about money. The logic to explain this phenomena goes like this. The more money you have, the more you have to lose. And we as humans don't like to lose things, especially if we worked hard to get it. So we worry more about it once we have it, and concentrate on it far more on what we have than what we could get in the future. People settle for what they have and concentrate on not losing it. That's true for money, and it's also true for romantic relationships. And if this is the way how most people make decisions in their lives, it's most probably also how most people make decisions in their practice. Instead of moving forward to gain something, they behave to avoid losing something. So the only logical step for them to go try something more advanced and push their skill further is to first not to lose the level they are already at. When we had zero skill, there was nothing to lose. But once we advance in a skill, we tend to make sure that the important part is done first, and only then we feel it's time to risk it and try a new level, try a new trick. The biggest problem with this strategy is almost the exact opposite of how naturals practice. So let me elaborate and ask you again. What would you say is needed to overcome your current skill level? What is needed to overcome your current abilities and to literally overcome your limits? You would probably agree that it's not something you can already do, but it would need to be something that is slightly more difficult than you are currently capable of right now. It is something that overcomes your current skill level, something that pushes your limits and takes you out into the unsafe territory, where you face difficulty and error. It's what gets you out of your comfort zone. Now, if you want to overcome your current skill level and ability, you probably would need to be in the best possible shape and with the most amount of energy and the best focus you can have. Would that be logical if you wanted to improve yourself? So with this reasoning, what would you say, when do we have the most energy, willpower and focus in our practice session? At the beginning of our practice, the middle, or at the end? At the beginning, right? It's when you start out your practice. So here's my question to you. Why are we trying to accomplish something new that overcomes us even when we are full of energy, at a time when we are even in a worse state than when we started out? Your energy level, willpower and focus is the lowest at the end of your practice session. Yet, we decide to put our new, most demanding trick, which overcomes our skill level, therefore would need the most skill, energy and focus in order to overcome ourselves, usually right there at the very end. We literally want to reach something that is hard, even when we are full of energy, at a time when we are in worse shape than when we started out. When I said that naturals do almost the exact opposite than non-naturals, what naturals do is not start with the 99% of what they already can do, but start with the 1% they can't do yet, as soon as physically possible. They start with the thing that overcomes their skill level and challenges all their skill. The difference lies behind their investment of energy and the mindset behind their decision-making process. They do what no one seems to do, because it seems illogical and counterintuitive. They might finish their practice by practicing the new trick, but they never wait until they get past the point of what I call low-value energy. Now, there are 3 kinds of energies we have in our practice session, and we need to learn how to invest into each of them the right way. And that's what we will talk about in our next section.